Ladies and gents, welcome back, and welcome back to a Monday show. It's been a long time.
I know.
I think
I was just thinking on the way here, like, what's happened since I feel like we were last here?
Fucking lots happened.
I feel like a lot has happened. It's that time of year, you know?
Yeah.
What was it like mid-December, early December? Was it even earlier than that?
It must have been like first week of December.
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be something around there. So it's been, that'd have been like at least 8 games, probably.
Yeah, well, there's managers gone and new managers.
Well, Moisey's back at Everton. That's one thing. We'll touch on that
Potter's
game.
back. Moyes is back.
The Wolves manager, was he signed then as well?
Nah.
They got a Portuguese man back at Wolves. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That rolls off the tongue perfectly.
They just went to Portugal and picked someone out.
Picked some geezer out. You come with us. Feels like Prem's back a little bit. We got the old
Leighton. Yeah, we're saying it's Leighton Baines.
Leighton Baines is fucking managing.
I've just seen Aaron Cresswell still playing for West.
Yeah, we've realised we've reached unk status in terms of Prem ball. We've gone back to Barclays days, but it was a good weekend of action. It's a bit crazy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because the games we'll touch on. Well, I watched that Bournemouth game. That was crazy. Obviously, the 2-2 with you and Villa. Liverpool scored
Saturday night 2-0s. Did you see those?
Oh, yeah, crazy.
2-0, 2-0,
2-0. Yeah, 3 of them. And then last night, a couple 3-1s and 3-2s going around as well. So we had goals this weekend. We've got a big segment coming up for most important player second half of the season. Position to fill in transfer-wise. So we'll build on what we did last week. So a lot to get through. I guess before we get right into it, anything you want to... It's been a while. So anything on top of your mind you want to just get out there early on regarding your club, regarding other clubs? I feel like we haven't heard enough.
Oh, well, look.
We've missed a lot. That's the point.
I think I messaged the chat the other day saying, like, this club can't hurt me anymore.
It's beyond that point.
Like, I know that's, like, a really stupid thing to say. Like, we're second. We've been second for the last 2 years, 3 years. And it's like, can't hurt me. It's like it's a little bit taking the piss. But,
yeah.
I don't know. I convinced myself, like, we're just going to flick a switch. And, like, Havertz is going to be good. And, like, we're going to score open play goals. You know, like, I just convinced myself these things are going to happen because, like, Mikel convinced me a couple of years back that, like, we can play, like, this free-flowing ball. But now it is just Al-Qaeda ball, to be honest. I'm telling you. Like, bro, I don't know.
Generally.
I don't know what has happened. How can you have, like, Odegaard and, like how can you just have, like, literally have him at 10 and be such a, like, cross the ball in FC.
Yeah.
Like it's giving me like flashbacks to when like City used to cross the ball into like Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
And like Sterling.
Yeah. Sterling, exactly.
Like
Sterling,
it was like Sterling back stick and like every now and then said Bernardo Silva with the back stick and then it's like he's trying to header it against, you know, some 6'7" centre back.
Just you know.
Yeah, I know Havertz is tall, but like he's just like he just can't do anything. You know, he's just in the wrong spot all the time. So yeah, like I don't know. The point is that I keep building up such high expectations for this team that we're actually going to win stuff. And don't get me wrong, I don't think we won't win stuff, but the reality is we're just not as good as I believe we are in my head. You know.
Yeah, and I guess what people expect to be.
Yeah, well whether it's what people expect to be or what I expect them to be, because I mean, I guess like every time I go on Twitter or go on social media, it's like everyone else is saying we're actually not that good. But I guess Arsenal fans keep convincing themselves we're good.
Yeah.
But even then, AFTV's back. Like you got the AFTV guys who run that, predicting 2-2 draws at home against Spurs.
Yeah.
Like I mean, Jesus Christ, the wheels are off, mate.
If
you're predicting a draw at home to Spurs as an Arsenal fan, it's pretty grim.
Yeah, what's gone wrong?
It's just crazy considering we are second. Like, what is going on to predict a draw at home against Spurs? Like, I don't know, but yeah. So that's where I'm at with my club.
Yeah,
because there's been a lot of games, obviously, in the last month and a half. So you know, it can be hard to keep track of everything. But the one thing you always keep track of is your own club. You know.
Yeah.
So
it just felt like you were coming back. I remember when I was away, it felt like you were coming back. There was a good game in there. But I think the Brighton game was on for me. That was like, what the fuck was I watching?
What happened in that again?
You guys went up with was it Ranieri? Yeah, I think it was Ranieri scored.
Oh,
good solo goal.
Great goal. Yeah,
and then you guys decided not to play in the second half. Decided just to.
And then João Pedro scored again.
Yeah.
Pen. Oh my god.
Which again was a dodgy pen.
Oh
at the end of the day,
Saliba. Oh my god, Saliba. Like, gone for the ball. Gives it a pen.
It was one of the, but at that point I'm like, whoa, what happened to this? Yeah.
But even then, like we were unbeaten in 13 going against you.
Yeah, there was
we're unbeaten in 13, and then we go lose like 2-0 or whatever it was. What was the score? No, Pens.
Pens, 5-3 on Pens. Two goal different on Pens.
Yeah, sorry, Pens.
But again, I think for all Arsenal fans, it felt like a loss against 10 men. We saw last night.
It absolutely felt like a loss.
Yeah, because the way we play. Talk about terrorism football. We are awful football. But
yeah, you guys are terrible.
But it's literally not going to make the shed again today because there's nothing different. The same stuff. We're going to go in yo-yos if you keep talking about United. So
I'll have to talk about them really briefly.
Oh, no, I'll give you the floor. But I've said what I've said. I think it's the same shit over and over again. Love a big game, but hate a small one.
Yeah, that's a great explanation.
That's
love a big game, but hate a small. Wow, that's like nail on the head with me.
It's literally what United is.
Spurs too, actually. I feel like.
Oh no, we're definitely talking about Spurs. They're on the list because and I'm a fan of Moisey being back, so we can talk about that. The first one at the top though was the one I watched on Saturday night. I'm so glad I picked this one. Bournemouth 4, Newcastle 1. Again, my adopted club. I'll claim them in this one here. They're flying.
They are actually. I'll give you that.
They were in 6th. I think they dropped to 7th because City just battered Ipswich last night. So they've dropped back down. But there's a real case. Again, going up against unbeaten Newcastle, who won 9 in a row. Isaac going for like a Van Nistelrooy's record.
Yeah.
Dean Huijsen and Zabani pocketed him. Newcastle looked pretty second rate. The press was ridiculous. Again, I'm regurgitating what I said on Saturday, but like they've finally got an early fixture. I feel like people now just watched it because you had to watch that game. Midday fixture over there, and they just tore them apart. And I did my Spanish managers thing during Christmas. I think Iriola, they better be careful because surely a big club. Like if I'm Spurs, maybe even if one of the big Spanish clubs lose their mate, if Carlo doesn't want to go on next year, if I'm Real Madrid.
I don't think Carlo isn't going on.
Yeah, so like if Xabi Alonso doesn't end up going there, or if Xabi Alonso goes there, if you're Leverkusen, Iriola has to get a big job, like surely. Like they tore apart Eddie Howe's side. I say again, 9 wins in a row. They're pretty handy. And they looked pretty second rate in this one here.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, like, the Iriola thing like goes back all the way to when like Gary O'Neill got the sack at Bournemouth. Yeah. And it's like, like fair play to that management.
Yeah.
There, the ownership rather of that club, because obviously that at the time was a very big decision, and obviously it couldn't have panned out much better. And as you said, mate, you did adopt that club very early on.
Yeah, I've taken them on the arm.
You've been an Iriola stan, so yeah, like you can't get a much better result than that.
Yeah.
Considering how well Newcastle have been going, as you said, all the noise around Newcastle and Isaac, to then going pocket him and away.
Yeah.
Like and Clivert again.
He's the only one other than Haaland to have 2 hat-tricks this season.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
He's breaking the father-son curse too.
Generally.
They're always pretty useless.
Yeah,
so.
they're pretty shit.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, mate, 2 hat-tricks in a season, is unbelievable.
It's pretty impressive. I think it's 2 in the last 6 games. I think he had it against Wolves.
It was like in the last 6 games.
I reckon it was when I was away, he did it. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's been the last 6 to 8 games. So, and he's got 2 very iconic hat-tricks. So the other one was all penalties against Wolves. 3 pens versus Wolves, and then he's gone and scored probably 3 of the best goals I've seen in some time versus Newcastle. Shout out the centre backs. Always like a fair play. Tyler Adams, Americans talking about not great reputations, but he put in a shift in midfield. I've hyped up that the Bruno Joel into midfield for ages, but they looked pretty mediocre again. It was because Tyler Adams, man. US are hosting a World Cup, next year?
Yeah.
You got Pulisic cooking. You got Adams
Is Pulisic cooking?
Yeah, he's killing it for AC Milan.
Yeah, right.
Aronson's dominating in the championship with Leeds.
Sorry, every time I hear Pulisic, I just think
LeBron James. LeBron James is like Christian Pulisic right here.
That is just like...
That's an iconic, that's a timeless...
It's just the most American thing I've ever heard. It's the most American soccer opinion I've ever heard in my entire life. It's like,
BT.
The LeBron James, you got Lionel Messi, Christian Pulisic doing his thing. It's unbelievable.
Top tier American journalism right there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable.
But no, they are cooking them.
I'll tell you what.
Anthony Robinson.
There's another player as well I had in my mind, but they're a little sneaky. Hey, Matt Turner, the backup of Palace, mate. They're a little sneaky for the World Cup next year as well. That's all I was thinking about in that game, because he was running rings around that Newcastle midfield. Yeah. Kirk is the final one there, 4-1. And I guess, I think the point was it was Newcastle's big weekend to go close to you guys and to go ahead of Foresting at that point in time. In the end, they now sort of slip back into the next pack. So you've sort of got Newcastle, City, Bournemouth in that sort of next clump of teams.
It's a hard like group to escape.
City, we assume, will disappear out of that group. They'll fly through.
Oh, City's scary.
So Newcastle, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Villa. Put Brighton if you want in that pack as well. All separated by 4 points. Who do you reckon gets that final Champions League?
Even Fulham, because Fulham's the jump from Fulham to Brentford. So it's like from 4th to 10th is 5 points.
Who nicks that 5th spot? Who gets that final Champions League spot? Because I'm not convinced by Chelsea at all.
Look, I'm always tend to lean to what like the bigger clubs in these scenarios, right? You know, just because obviously history, but I also just feel like more squad depth, like sort of gets you through to the end of the year. And to be honest, I rate Newcastle. I think considering they're 5th with how bad the start of the year was.
Yeah,
like Eddie Howe was looking, you know, like that was going to be shaky.
Yeah, he was in corner.
And whereas Chelsea is sort of having their slump now.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle. I mean, look, not to like discredit Bournemouth, and I just think Villa with the Champions League is going to be too tough.
Yeah, and they're taking it pretty seriously. It looks like.
Yeah. I mean, like Unai has proven he's a bit of he has success in cup tournaments and cup competitions. So yeah, I'd be leaning towards Newcastle for that 5th spot still. I don't know. Is there, like could United or Spurs make like a drastic run? Because they're probably the two like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I did in the match.
They're like
recap.
the two sort of sleeping giants, like. But
they're fast asleep. They've had some wine. They've had some sleeping tablets. They're gone.
Yeah, they're knocked out. Eh?
I reckon there is. I think I give more chance of Palace finishing top half than United or Spurs at this point in time. Like Palace are unbeaten the last 5 away from home.
Spurs, man, 24 points.
But Everton could go within a point of Spurs with a game in hand. Like I read it last night. I was like, no, it can't be. David Moyes, Everton. I reckon they might nick Spurs. That's where we're going to.
24 points. Wow.
United 26. Not much better. Like
no, I know that is just unbelievable though.
That's what I'm saying. So those two, they're not pushing.
I don't know how Ange does survive this, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. But I think there needs to be but it's been an educated discussion because there is equally who's missing as well. That's the real problem.
Well, that's not. Yeah, it's like you can have a lengthy discussion.
Yeah. So yeah, Chelsea and Bournemouth same points. See, I might be with you. Maybe Newcastle. I'll back my boys in. I think Newcastle 5th, Bournemouth 6th.
I'd be back in Newcastle.
And I'll go Chelsea 7th. I think Bournemouth might nick Chelsea in the end. And I agree with you. Villa might finish 8th because I would just take Champions League so seriously.
Yeah, I think Chelsea could finish anywhere. I mean,
it's not.
Yeah, it's
not convincing.
Yeah, they'll go on very well.
Yeah,
and then they drop some points, and then they get the injury run.
Yeah,
as we said, no centre backs. So it's sort of just going, from bad to worse for Chelsea at the moment in terms of it was going so well.
Good test in Maresca though.
Huh?
Good test in Maresca though.
Yeah, for sure.
Has he got the bottle to?
Yeah.
It's been pretty smooth sailing so far.
Yeah, 100%.
There we go. Big first game of the weekend. Big win for Bournemouth, and the European tour might be looking on for next season for them. West Ham Palace, quickly have this one. 2-0 for Palace. Potter's first loss. I tell you what, as I said, Palace I think that was 5 unbeaten on the road. 3 wins in the last 5 on the road. Unbeaten or 1 loss in 8 games I think now. I'm trying to remember the stats. Mateta scoring again. Palace are 12th. I think they're going to come back where they deserve to be, and it's 11th, 12th, or 13th.
I was going to say, I mean, 12 sounds, sounds bang on, mate.
Yeah, they literally are where they're supposed to be. My predictions will absolutely love. Actually,
so how many games has Potter had in charge now? Was that his first?
That's his second. He won last week versus Fulham, 3-2, and they lost on the weekend.
Yeah.
But Palace's turnaround's been pretty solid. Only -3 goal difference now as well. So
how many managers now have? So West Ham have had 3 managers in the space of essentially a year.
Yeah, because Moyes the end of last season. Yeah, and now to Potter.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So I feel like West Ham kind of go under the radar for investing in players. I feel like they spend a bit of money, right?
Yeah.
And Lopetegui experiment just did like has
What a
gone
waste.
terribly.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of money spent. You know, like they gave him a fair bit of time in the end, but it's just like, you know, when you get like if you get Graham Potter, like a completely different style of play to Lopetegui, like you just unfortunately like you just have to like that. I guess that's why they want to really commit to Lopetegui in terms of like give him as long as you can because they spent quite a bit of money there.
A lot of money in the summer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of money in the summer. And now I feel like you just, unfortunately, when you get Potter, you just have to go again. Like you just have to give him,
spend again,
like what he wants because he's going to want to play like a more expansive style.
Yeah,
you know, a bit more like he's going to want to play out from the back and move the ball like that. So
they haven't got those players. They have not got them.
Yeah, they do not. Like and it's slow.
Yeah,
that team on paper looks so slow. That's like that's what I always go back to with West Ham. Is I look at that to paper. I feel like it's been a couple of years now. Like. When you have Mikel Antonio leading the line and like Jared Bowen's your most like, explosive player. Like, look, Jared Bowen's quick, but I don't look at Jared Bowen and think like, wow, like that's like
he's not that guy.
He's good in the counter because he's like intricate and he's a good finisher, right? Like that's why Jared Bowen's like good in the counter. It's not because he has like Ismail Assar pace, nothing like that, right? You know, it's just like whereas when I think of Potter at Brighton, there's like Matoma. You know, like you have like these wide, like you know, wingers who like get up and down, and you know, I just don't see a lot of that at the moment at West Ham, and even like you know from the back, like you had like Estupiñán and
like proper pushing on.
You had like pretty pretty
Veltman
aggressive.
Was there.
It was a quick midfield, so like.
But they had Caicedo.
And Basuma, Basuma, and then you had like,
Caicedo.
Yeah, like it's a very different looking outfit.
Yeah, like who's your Solly March in this team? That's the thing. Like, who's that guy's gonna whip in it? Like,
it's just like
cross?
There's just like, they just don't. I feel like the build of the teams are like extremely different at the moment. So they're gonna have to invest.
Is there one player that's probably it's probably not one player the same? Because like,
look, I feel like Kilman like would
could
work.
Be a dunk. Like,
like could sort of just be like a player who hangs around there now, and he's gonna have to be. Like,
you spent money on him.
You can't like replace Max Kilman. Like he's one of those. He was one of those centre backs who was on the radar for like you know sort of always making a bit of a like on paper at least like a step up in his career to like you know historically a bigger club. But there's issues there though, like Fabianski playing. Bloke's like 38.
Yeah, but he's actually the best they've got. Like that's the.
No, I know, but that like this is sort of like the you know, it's just like that West Ham. Like we said this when they signed all these players, that they were old.
Yeah, no,
like, they signed all these old players.
Yeah, like a ready to go now type.
Yeah, and it's like it just hasn't worked out, and you know you're gonna have to like reinvest.
Well, Fulkrug for me, I was so excited about him. He's been shit.
Yeah, well, he just hasn't played really though as well.
Like he was injured, came back, did a little bit, got injured again, came back, and then he was
now he's injured again. Like it's
just like that's the problem. You're signing a 32-year-old, I think, Fulkrug.
Yeah, like I mean,
it's just not. It's not for the future move. It's not smart, is it?
There's not many like we've seen these old players like really sort of you know like you know Ronaldo and even Salah at the moment like you know. Redefine what it means to be old.
Yeah.
But there's not many of them, right? Like you see, like the reality is
not an example.
Yeah, the reality is like once you start going on 30 plus, it does tend to go downhill pretty quick.
Can't be lucky stars until you
Yeah, no, and like you know, you have to be a like top player to make it work post 30.
Yeah.
And you know it just you got to be careful when you sign those players. But yeah, so my point with that is West Ham, like, you know, they have to, I'm sure I feel like that's why they held on to Lopetegui for so long.
They're trying to hope it works.
Was that they know, like, you know, they're going to have to reinvest now with Potter because otherwise it's not going to work. So they're going to have to give him time and let him do his thing. And
like the time you said this, I saw this tweet this morning about like the 3 worst run clubs all together. United, West Ham, Tottenham. All on 7 wins, probably the 3 worst run clubs in the division, with Everton just below them, probably another worst run club. So you got 4 of the worst run clubs, all just above the drop. And it sort of shows...
I would argue the Spurs one, personally. That's a whole other issue, but what's his bloody name again?
Levy.
Yeah, Daniel Levy.
Whatever
Yeah,
he's like,
Daniel Levy. Like, I feel like he gives him money. I know he often buys the bullet too quick and does this weird stuff.
That's my.
It's the same as United, though, I guess.
Yeah.
United throw around all this money, but are they investing where they should be?
See, Spurs' investment, I think, smarter than United.
Definitely.
Solanke, Archie, great, but like their starting 11's better invested. Like they work, but it's the whole thing of like Mourinho sacking him before a cup final.
Before a cup final, yeah.
Like
no, that for me is where Daniel Levy, gets where he gets in this conversation is because it feels like he's historically, and maybe that's why Ange is still there. Yeah. Historically,
way too quick to just.
He's gone so quick on all these guys.
Well, Potter sacked, wasn't he? Not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Potter sacked.
Yeah,
your guy who made your club top.
And Mourinho was sacked clearly because it was like behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was all just going on.
Bust up.
Yeah. And it took Conte to have a rant as well.
As an owner, you just cannot do that. Like in terms of
once that's done, it's done.
Well, it's just like, how can you sack Jose Mourinho?
But once you've got Mourinho on the wrong side, there's no point keeping him. Like he's fucked it up, obviously, at that point in time.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know how you can do that before a cup final.
Yeah. Ryan Mason managing against Man City in a cup final is ridiculous. That's one of the most Tottenham.
But yeah, I'm not wrong though. Like there's got to be issues at Spurs if you can spend all that money and not win a trophy in 20 years.
And Spurs are very similar to United, where it's the constant sign of bunch looking incredible. Last year, they're top of the league, bloody songs about Ange being the best, and then now they're like near the.
Yeah, Spurs is legit United, just like on a slightly smaller scale.
I don't want to say
in terms of in terms of. With United every year, it's like you're rebuilding this expectation.
250 million.
Yeah, and the fans go delusional again.
Yeah.
You know, fair enough. When you sign all those players, like when you have Varane and Sancho and Ronaldo that year, like we're going to win the league, man. We're going to win the league.
No shit, yeah.
But the reality is they do this every single year.
Yeah.
And, expectation gets blown out. And Spurs is relatively similar, just on a smaller scale. So it's like, it's never for Spurs to win the league, but it's for Spurs to, be challenging.
Yeah, but we're
the reality is they're going at 1 point a game this season, which is the craziest thing.
Disastrous.
That's mental.
That's the thing. The only thing that would makes me glad as I'm a United fan, I've seen trophies won in that time. Spurs in this time doing this top bottom. They never win anything in that top year. At least in our top year, we won that Carabao Cup. Even our bottom year, we won the FA Cup. I mean, probably won't anything this year, but I guess we won stuff.
Well, they've had they've had Premier League Player of the Year quality for the last 10 years.
Son, man.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They had Kane.
Peak of their power.
I know this year's has gone horribly wrong. There is a squad there now. To be fair,
there's
but there's just
there's no one available to them.
And then that's a whole other thing. It's like an injury. Injury crises are weird. Right, when's the Spurs game? We're going to touch that
later on. We're going to be later on. But
it's just is that a real issue or is that just a coincidental issue?
As I said, this is great timing.
Sometimes there is sometimes there is an underlying issue there and you have to address that, right?
Yeah.
But it can also, but don't get me wrong, injury that's not Ange's fault.
No, you can't.
And to be honest, it's probably I wouldn't say that's Ange's fault.
No, I've got a point on that though when we talk.
There is
about
obviously
Spurs.
squad rotation and stuff.
Yeah,
but losing all your defenders.
Yeah, no, that's just incredible. No centre
What centre backs are out of them? Romero,
Van de Ven, Dragosin. Ben Davies came back last night.
Yeah, but it's also Ben Davies.
Back,
yeah. It's not good.
And Vicario's out as well.
And Vicario
out for a long time as well.
Yeah.
We'll get into them a little bit. The next one I touch on is Liverpool 2, Brentford 0. Made sure to watch this one. I wanted to see how they went. It was 3 draws in a row, I think, for Liverpool coming to this one in the Prem. Because, United, Nottingham Forest, and a draw before that. And then bailed out by Darwin Núñez. Who would have thought? He missed. He came on, I think, the 70th minute. Missed a header straight away. Got a yellow card. Scored 2 goals and still got sent off. That was Darwin Núñez in 20 minutes. But I was saying it to Nathan. I'm like, he might not score 2 goals ever again for your football club, but that might be 2 of the most important goals he will score. Because that game... Most shots in a game this season in the Premier League, it was 50 shots in the game. Liverpool had 30 shots, something like that. Again, not all clear cut, but some should have been in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Salah had another questionable game. I think we'll have to talk about that. But I said in the group chat, more as a wind up, but still, this is sort of why you feel like this team can win. And this is why I was sort of on them last year, because it was a very similar game last year against Brentford where I think Nunes scored this, like, I think Alisson just kicked it long and he just scored this lucky chip.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like these sort of games where I think this is why I can see Liverpool winning it. It was a funny game because they deserved the 3 points, but again, they started so slow. And I know you and Tots are big on this. They start games so slowly.
Yeah, I mean,
second half they wake up.
The reason, like I haven't been a Liverpool denier because of Liverpool. It's been more so that I just feel like I just had more faith in someone like catching them in terms of like, you know, like, yeah, I mean, if everyone else is going to be this bad, then they will win the league.
Yeah.
Like, you know, last or Saturday night was a prime example of where, well, as you said, like, you know, they're going 3 draws in a row or something, right? And the gap is still going to be 9 points. So they have the game, so 6 points in a game in hand. It's like, you know, that's where, in my head, the gap would have been close to 4 points, right? Or you know, at least 7 points. Like, at least we don't draw. The gap is still 7 points.
Yeah.
Where we do draw, and it's, or you know, it's 6 points with the game in hand, and it's just like,
to just get a little bit more.
Like, that's where I thought we'd close the gap because they would drop points. We'll do our thing and close the gap, but we just haven't done that. So, you know, the reality is, I don't think there is anyone like at the moment who's really clawing them back, and banging on the door to catch them because everyone else is just so inconsistent. Like,
and that's the thing, I guess. If City was in this, you back City, right? Like last year.
Yeah, if City were joint second, like 44 points,
that's a different story, right?
Mate, like I'd have them as like they should be. They'd probably be they probably would be favourites because they do that every year. But have they left themselves too big of a task this year? It's a long way back. You know, is the question, right? But, then I like City are not out of it. As I said, like we said before the show, like let's say Liverpool dropped 10 points.
Yeah, I think around 10 to 12 is like, left to drop.
You know, City could win every single game, and that they'd still lose the league.
Which is ridiculous.
But as in, it's a different story when like if they close the gap, if they win every game now until May, and suddenly the gap is 3 points.
I was about to say, City 3 points behind is different to anyone else 3 points behind.
It's just like the pressure, having led the whole season up until that point, I just think it becomes too much. And
it becomes very familiar to every other season, it feels like. Liverpool led the league at Christmas a lot.
Mate, City winning 6-0 last night is like literally, what's the date? Jan 20th. It was Jan 19th. You know, let's go and batter someone 6-0.
Come back
with KDB. As you said, divorce Pep.
Yeah, divorce
Haaland
Pep.
tenure. Like, it's just...
It's scary.
There was something, like, you know, I know the gap is 12 points, but there was something scary about that. You know, hey, don't forget, we're still here.
Yeah. We're fourth now.
I was, like, doing who they should sign on one of those segments. And I'm like, okay, there's an obvious position. But the reality is you look at that team, and it's like, holy shit, this is still the treble-winning team.
Yeah.
They've just been in incredibly bad form.
They've got 200 million worth of signings that are apparently happening in this next week as well.
Yeah.
With Marmoush coming as well, I'm a big fan of him. Like, that all of a sudden becomes, what the fuck do you do defensively? Like, how do you stop those there's so many different types of players in that side. It's like,
it's just still by far the best squad in the league. Like, just by far.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think people are really quick to forget. Like, you know, the 115 breaches has sort of been like kicking up a little bit. Like, they're going to be relegated, and Pep's personal life's been up in the air, and like Jack Grealish not scoring in a whole year finally scores, and like, it's just, I don't know, just
something's coming together.
It's just Man City.
Things really coming together.
City. But yeah, I know we're talking about Liverpool, but
yeah, because Liverpool 15-5-1. Again, there's 5 draws. They've all come recently as well. So we can't really, like, they are flying realistically. It just feels like, because again, United taking points. It just, the teams that have taken points, that makes it feel a little bit worse. They are still killing it. It is
they have 17 games left.
Yes.
If they win every game, that's 51 points.
101.
So they can, so like technically they can still get 100 points.
10,
and at this stage of the season, if you're on that, like it's always...
That's a good sign.
Yeah, it's always a good sign, right?
Especially with the gap with City. But yeah, very excited for them again. But you mentioned about the squads, that they're not the strongest squad. So interesting to see how it goes with Champions League. Again, they're a favourite for that.
I always come back to Liverpool. My same as last year, my whole thing this year has been like, there's going to be a hiccup, or at least I'm convinced there will be. Yeah. So I don't think it's possible for any team not to have a hiccup in a season. Yeah. Unless you're Man City.
A quick one on that. The last month, is that you're going to count that as a mini hiccup?
Yeah, well, is that their hiccup?
Not there, but is that a? Is it one?
No, it's definitely a little. Well, it definitely is, because it's a blip in form.
Yeah.
Like for sure. But I'm talking more so as in
2 losses in the balance like that.
Yeah, or does Van Dijk get injured? Like, does someone get it? Every team has injuries, right? And every team this year has had injuries, really, besides Liverpool, it feels like.
Yeah.
Not to the same extent as what,
not your superstar going down, yeah.
And City have had, and
Spurs.
Like, Salah, has been quiet.
That's what I'm saying. Are we getting to that post-Christmas Salah again, where he goes and miss for like 6 games?
Like, he literally disappeared last year. Like, when it counted, he literally went missing. And I know I know there was AFCON.
Feb, I think it was Feb, and this is sort of the same sort of time, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then once he got back, he was just too frustrated. Like, I remember end of the year, he was chucking tantrums at
He was getting
West
dragged.
Ham and stuff, yeah.
Like Salah never gets dragged. He's getting dragged for like 60 minutes, 70 minutes.
That's very close.
If that happens. I know he's been insane this year, but he's done it before. Like, City have done it before.
Yeah.
Like, all these things have happened. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just too far, but
it's there's a sense of it.
I think he's
at least
the guy who needs to, make sure he just keeps going. I think he's the one.
He needs to keep pushing. Fulham 2, Leicester 0. Another good win for Fulham. Not much to talk about that one there. Leicester now without a clean sheet in 20 games.
I think they've lost 6 in a row. One win.
Well, Rude won his first game, and he hasn't won since.
Lost 6 since.
They're buggered. They're gone for me as well. Yeah. If they weren't already gone. Let's talk about that on, I guess, the topic of Salah. Most important players for each team's second half of the season. We did this at the start of the year. I think it might be a little bit different considering injuries.
What order are you doing this in?
Do you want to go ladder order?
Yeah, okay.
I'll start us then. You can just follow off every team after mine. So second half of the year, again, can be anywhere over the pitch. Depending on injuries, it might change as well. But I think we should have some similar sort of areas of the park covered here. Southampton first.
Bottom order. Okay.
Sorry, bottom. Yes, at the bottom and go up. Yeah. I had Aaron Ramsdale for them, just because, they're going down. But can you beat the 11 or was it 9 points, whatever that Derby set?
I thought Rambo's been good.
I think he has been good, but I think he needs to continue to be good.
Yeah.
To actually keep them keep them respectable this season. They've been good in recent weeks with the new manager, but if Southampton to win games, they need to keep some clean sheets. So Rambo for me to be an important player second half of the year.
Yeah. I'm going to go Cameron Archer.
Yep, striker.
I don't know. I feel like Cameron Archer had a fair bit of hype over the last couple of years, and I feel like he just needs to show a bit, try and score some goals, because Adam Armstrong's just not really that guy.
He's not.
So can Cameron Archer put the ball in the back of the net?
Yeah.
That's what I've gone.
I can back that. Leicester, I want a similar sort of theme. I went Mavrididi on the left.
Yeah.
Probably the most exciting player. That's not Jamie Vardy. Can he carry the load is the question.
Yep. Yeah, I've gone Buonanotte.
Valid. Very good score, yeah.
So, has he been... Was he injured?
Injured, rested, in between.
Yeah, because I feel like he started the year on fire.
He was very good.
And I feel like he's been a bit quiet since. He's been off the bench a bit lately. So,
Buonanotte. I don't know if Rude rates him, which is a shame, because he's on loan, isn't he? I don't think he's actually, he'll go back to Brighton and do his thing anyway. Ipswich, again, these teams are probably going to go down. Delat for me, just simply. But when they score, they're actually not that bad. Like, they actually compete. Yeah. But the games they don't score, you saw last night, they just get battered. Like, they need a goal or counter-attack goal early on to actually be in a game and competitive. So Delat needs to be elite this season.
I went Godfrey.
The back,
So am I wrong, or did they just bring him in?
I think he signed in January as well, because he was at Atalanta, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so on the basis of the fact that, I think it was his first start last night.
It would have been, yeah.
And obviously City, City can do that. Tough day. You have to just let that go. But Yeah, I mean, I know Ipswich aren't going to stay up because of the defensive, like them being tight. They're going to have to outscore teams.
Yeah.
But if they can tighten it up a little bit,
Helps them out.
it's definitely going to help.
Yeah.
And I feel like, like they just leak goals. So I've gone Godfrey.
They haven't got... They've probably got 2 goals in their game per game at best.
Yeah.
So you need to at least keep...
Yeah, like they're never going to keep a clean sheet, really.
Yeah, but like solid enough to keep one, concede one.
That's how I've looked at it.
Wolves is pretty slam dunk. I went Cunha.
Yeah, same. I went Cunha as well.
But bro's going to be one of the player of the year, so Cunha for me.
Mental, eh?
He's been injured in recent weeks, so they might put him back.
No, I think he got a ban.
Oh, banned. He didn't play the Spurs game.
Yeah, no, he was banned.
And then came
I think
back.
he's playing tonight.
Okay, he'll play tonight. That's good.
I think he's available tonight, yeah.
He was on, yes, FootMob had him available, so that's why I was making sure he
got banned for abusing the ref or something.
Oh, in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the games he went off. Yeah, okay, yes. I know, yeah. No,
that's right.
Yeah, they kicked off, with Gary O'Neill's last game, they just kicked off in the tunnel apparently, so yeah, that makes sense. Everton, the new sign up and about. I went in die. The goal last night was fantastic. He's probably been their best player of the season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's a good shout. But
yeah, I went DCL.
Yeah, I just think any attacker, they need to find goals back in their game again.
Yeah, I think Calvert-Lewin is kind of self-explanatory. I feel like every time I talk about Everton, I'm talking about DCL, just in terms of like, I feel like he's kind of I forget what the word is, but if DCL's on...
Barometer.
Yeah, the barometer.
He's the guy.
DCL's on, Everton are on, and if he's not, it feels like it's impossible for them to get a result because he's like, like he really is like the guy up there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be probably a very similar style for him under Moyes. So the reality is, like, he's going to be the man still. Mikel Antonio, West Ham, sort of like similar vibes to DCL at Everton in terms of like, we're going to get the ball up to you. You need to finish it off.
You need to finish it.
So that's why I got DCL.
Yeah, goals need to come back into their game. They want to do a little bit better than they have first half of the year. Spurs, I'm a big fan of this guy. Bergvall for me. Centre mid or CDM, helping cover that back line. That back line is horrid. So I've got him in just like, he's 18, but he's probably their best player at this current point in time. So if he keeps doing the way he's going, he's going to make a name for himself. He's actually not going to move away. If Spurs doing that shit, so I've got him in.
I know they're having defensive issues, but I've gone Solanke. I don't know how many goals Solanke scored, but I feel like if he has scored, they've been like stat padding. Like he's had 2 goals in like a game they're already winning or something.
I want to find that out.
Like I had him in FPL at some point, and I know he wasn't scoring. That's what I'm saying, right? So he's come in, and he has
7 goals.
Yeah, I just don't think that's good enough. In a team where like, they're not going to win being like from defensively, right? They're going to need to outscore teams. He's coming for 70 mil. And I just don't think he's been doing enough in terms of like, it was either that or Son for me. I
think he's been horrid this year.
Yeah, I think they could both lift. Solanke probably relies a bit more on the guys around him. Whereas you expect him in Son to like sort of create his own stuff a little bit more. But yeah, I think like I just think there's too many games there where they batter a lot of teams. I get it. Like when they're on, and they can win 5-0.
Yeah, I can back that.
But there's too many games where they just can't score. Like they can't score against Everton until the 70th minute. Like
they didn't score versus fucking Tamworth.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't score against fucking Tamworth. Yeah.
110 minutes against Tamworth.
Yeah, so it's like there's just too many of them. So I just think we need a few more moments of like brilliance from their star players.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Spurs is a mess anyway.
Yeah, that's going to start again. I feel like that's just gone. West Ham, not a bit of a reasoning behind this. I went Souček because I feel like with a Graham Potter team, like Rodriguez and Alvarez, these guys I don't think aren't going to last.
Yeah.
Souček, as much as he's old and feel like he should be washed, he's probably one of their better midfielders in terms of like goal scoring midfielder, pushing on, headers, driving the ball forward. And just for Graham Potter to stay treading above water, I think Souček's going to have to be massive this year. He scored 2 goals versus Fulham, I think, in that win they had. Well, he was massive versus Fulham. And I think he'll have to be yet again. He just feels like the one player at West Ham, every time they're cooking, like he's like in like fantasy form where he just bags points. So Souček again for me to carry the load.
We spoke earlier, I got Max Kilman.
Yeah.
I think he's the one in there, Mavropanos gets sent off.
He is shit.
I think, yeah, he's so shit. I think Kilman's the one which, like, you know, probably has, like, there's obviously Kudus and stuff like that, but in terms of, like, in a Potter system, he's young. I feel like if Potter wants to, like, you know, really grow this West Ham team and, like,
Got to be
together for a couple of years, I feel like Kilman will be there throughout it all. And I think at least in the moment, he's the one who just needs to solidify that defence.
Yeah, true that. United next. I think we agreed on this one. Ugarte.
Yeah, I went Ugarte.
Yeah. Well, from watching the last month and a half, the good games, Ugarte plays well. The bad games, him and Manu get dragged. It's pretty like the same thing every single game. If they're getting dragged at the hour mark, we're losing. Normally that's how it's working. But if we're winning, Ugarte and Manu are dominating. So you probably put the both of them in. But our midfield balance, control, fight is just so indicative of how we perform. So Ugarte for me.
Yeah, same.
Yep. Palace, I went big John Philippe. He scored 5 in 6, I think now. They're flying. He's flying. Same as it was the exact thing happened as last year. They had that mid-season turnaround and Mateta end up like one of the top 10 in the Golden Boot. So Mateta for me to be the difference maker.
This is a bit of a rogue shout. I've gone Eddie Nketiah.
Oh, the comeback.
Yeah, I know.
The comeback, Eddie.
So he's not even like starting at the moment. But it's because how bad he's been.
He's been shit.
Like they paid like 50 mil or something for him.
Too
like
much for him, whatever
yeah,
it was.
way too much.
Yeah.
Right. And he just like,
What is he scored? How many goals he scored this year?
I don't know, maybe 3 in the Prem or something. If that. I don't even know if he scored 3.
Mike Gay scored 3. Where's he though?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's not good. Not
maybe
looking good.
3 all comps. But like the reality is, you know, I don't know how he gets back in this team, to be honest, with Ismail Assar and John Philippe up there and Eze sort of in behind. But I think they need more out of him in terms of like, they paid a lot of money for him. There's a lot of expectation of him getting the number 9, being that guy. Yeah. And he's just done nothing, so I've gone Eddie.
They signed a new like attacking midfielder as well from Millwall as well, who apparently is the bollocks from the Championship. So he might be like 5th choice now, which is quite sad. Brentford, Mikkel Damsgaard. Mr. Chance creation himself.
I went the same.
Yeah, he was great versus Liverpool on the weekend as well. Makes sort of sense. Outside of the obvious ones, Visser and Bell, but they need to get Chance created for them, and that's what Damsgaard can do.
Exactly.
Fulham, again, another slam dunk for me is Robinson.
I knew you were going to go Robinson, so I didn't go Robinson.
Yeah, that was valid. There's a few of those you need to do.
I went Smith Rowe.
That actually is a good one, though.
Yeah, I feel
he's got levels to lift.
Yeah, I feel like he started, like once again, I feel like he was one of the players that started really, really hot.
On fire.
And it's been a little bit like up and down since then. You know, I know he scored the other day, but I just feel like Smith Rowe is like one of those guys who could like, I feel like he's a bit of a barometer as well. You know, if he's on, then like he's just so like, you know, important to like he's such an output player.
Yeah,
I feel like so. If he's not involved, then they're just not really scoring or assisting.
Yeah, it sort of slows in the final third.
If he's not on, then they're really slow in the final third. Yeah. So that's why I've gone Smith.
Yeah, back that one in as well. Brighton are a weird team. This is a system team, but I went Believer. He's sort of just that guy in the middle of the park. Was really good versus us last night. Strong into the challenge. We'll get a big move, undoubtedly, but for the rest of the season, if they want to continue to fight for like maybe Champions League, maybe Europa League, he's going to be a big time player for them, I feel like.
I've gone Yankuba Minter.
He was good last night as well,
obviously he was good last night. And he started last night, he's been a little bit, so once he started this year, I feel like he had so much hype around him.
Yeah, big signing.
And then has been sort of in and out of the team a little bit as of late, comes in last night, gets a couple contributions.
Yep.
And I feel like he's just going to be important to the rest of their season.
Definitely the wide players. There could be some similar names the rest of this one here. Villa, I went Rodgers, their best player. I think, talk about barometers, he's probably the best example of that.
Yep.
He does a lot of the work and goal contributions wise. Pretty simple for me. He's definitely their best player, or most important player of the second half of the season.
So I've gone John McGinn because he's coming back from the injury.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's a bit of a Villa barometer as well. In terms of like when John McGinn's up and about.
Yeah, energy.
I don't think he's like super important in terms of like, you know, it's gonna like change the trajectory of their season. But I feel like him coming back, just, you know, with the Champions League and stuff, just adds like a lot of experience and like, you know, has always played a pretty vital part in that team. So I feel like he's just a massive addition back.
Yeah.
Is more so the way I've looked at John McGinn.
Yeah, the return of John McGinn. Yeah, Bournemouth. This is desperate. They need Semenyo to carry this side because I've not heard any chat of a striker being signed yet, which is just for me ridiculous because you're pushing for like Champions League now. But with no striker, I'm pretty sure both are out for the year. Or if Anderson's is close, like towards the end of the season, you need a striker. Like Dango Ouattara's cool and all, but he's not a striker. You need a number 9. So if Semenyo has to fill in the left wing and the striker role, he has to be massive for them.
Yeah, I went
same thing.
Well. Yeah.
Chelsea, I went Colwill, one of the few remaining fit defenders, and how bad they've been recent weeks. They need him to stand up. If he's worth all this money that they paid for him, stay fit, lock it down defensively. Got a long way for them doing well.
I didn't look too far for this one. I went Cole.
Yeah.
It's pretty self-explanatory. I feel like Cole Palmer, you know, is vital to everything they do up front.
Yeah.
And even he this year is he's had a lot of big games and then gone missing in a couple. So sort of to turn this bad form around, and they're obviously struggling at the back. They're going to need to score a few more goals to beat teams. So yeah, Cole Palmer.
Yeah, I was on your wavelength for my Newcastle. I went Isaac. Just simply put, last on the weekend was a prime example of why. Didn't touch it much. They didn't look really like in the final third. And when you got players like Gordon there who were great, but they need Isaac to work off. And you know, Murphy's not that great. He's carrying that front line realistically. Yeah. So for me, Isaac's a slam.
I went Sven Botman.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many games he's played this year.
Be what, 4, 5, 6? Wouldn't be many. Like
Injuries. So he's played 3 games. So obviously one of them is Bournemouth last night.
Yeah.
But the reality is, I think the best Newcastle team was probably like when Eddie Howe came in, and they were absolutely like rock solid defensively. And Sven Botman was a massive part of that. So he's obviously been out for a while, but he's back now. And can they get a bit of consistency there defensively and sort of like, you know, just get both ends of the pitch working well,
sorting it out. Yeah. I'll be different with City. I had 2 listed, but I'll go Kovacic. He was like crazy good last night. Was good to start the season off. Got injured and City fell apart. And I think the number 6 role, it is literally you're alone. Like the way they list it on on the Premier League, it's true. He's like 1 out as a DM. He's a lot of work to do. Does it very, very well. Like I think the difference was when he wasn't there versus when he was there was like massive for City. So I think he's gonna have a massive part to play second half of the year.
I mean KDB. So, you know,
last night as well.
I'm going with some big players.
Yeah.
But no, genuinely, like if City are gonna like do what they do,
push on,
and they need their players to do what they do.
Yeah.
And KDB needs to get involved. You know, he obviously does, but he needs to get Haaland involved more.
Yeah.
Haaland needs to do more in big games and not to score against Ipswich, right? You know, so KDB, like if they're gonna do anything towards the back end of this year, it needs to just, you know, be available.
Yeah, be available.
And get the other players, get players like who need him, like Haaland, involved.
Yeah, that's even Gundogan, he could step up a little bit as
well. Yeah, I was going to put Gundo. Yeah,
that was my backup. But I think he's a little bit washed now.
I just think he's a bit washed. I thought the same thing. I was like, look, could go Gundo, but I think he's just a bit done.
Yeah, I think his ceiling has been reached. It's come and gone.
I don't know how much he's going to play, is the way I looked at it. Like,
bro might play on with the last 20 minutes.
Bernardo Silva comes in for him, and that's sort of the starting 11.
And Marmoush is going to come now. He's going to be far back. Forrest went Alanga. The Alanga-Wood combination is now led to 9 direct goals, I think, which is like second behind Cole Palmer and someone else. So it's pretty formidable with that front line. So Alanga with his assisting and his goals, it's going to be massive for Forest. If they're going to continue this heroic season, it could be hard to know or it could be Alanga, but either one of them has to keep going.
Yeah. I went Murillo.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, like, when I think of Forest, I still think of how solid they are defensively.
Oh, yeah, rock.
And if they're going to keep this up, then they're going to keep keeping clean sheets or being solid. So I went Murillo. Leads the league in clearances, I think. So,
yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He whacked 16 last game.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I think it was like a record-breaking.
Yeah, record-breaking game.
Most of the game.
First 2020, I think it was ridiculous. Nuno is manager of the year, right? Before.
Look, actually say now that you say that,
I'm thinking if somehow City turns around.
Well, I'm saying slot.
I'd say Areola. Areola's my second bet because he's got Bournemouth with less money into an equally good position.
I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but like, I think most people predicted like Liverpool 6th or 7th.
People thought it was the Moyes fall off for United sort of thing.
Well, I just thought it was like, we've seen it with every long tenure.
Yeah.
But no. But then people had Forest relegated.
Yeah, he saved Forest. They were supposed to go down again this year.
Wow, that's actually I haven't thought about that.
So I don't
know who I'd go.
I have Nuno, Iraola, Slot is my 1, 2, 3. That's my 1, 2, 3.
Wow, I'd probably have Slot number 1.
You have Slot number 1. That's fair play.
Probably. And I usually try and avoid that. But,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I feel like
you're back in that. Context means a lot.
Depends. Okay, no, it depends what happens, right? I know that's stupid, but obviously, if Forest win the league, Nuno, obviously,
if Forest get Champions League, so top 4.
If Forest keep going, wow, probably Nuno.
Yeah,
because you could make more of an argument that the league's just been so shit this year that it was kind of on the play for Slot.
Yeah.
Whereas for Forest to do this.
Escape relegation.
Nuno manager. He won't get it. Whoever wins the league will get it.
You reckon that will still happen?
That always happens. Whoever wins the league.
Even this year?
Yes. Whoever wins the league wins manager of the year. It's gonna be Slot if they win the league, 100%.
I know it happens, but surely not this year with the way Forest
it will.
do what they're doing.
No, it will, 100%. Nuno won't win it. If Slot wins the league,
that's crazy.
He will win manager of the year, 100%. Which is sad.
That's the way it works.
Because if they get Champions League, Nuno should win it. But
that's supposed to go down. I'm pretty sure I had them 17th.
I had him 18th. I had him going down.
I had Wolves going down. I think I had them 16th. I would have had Ipswich 17th. So but we all had them in there.
I had him going down for sure.
That's fair play. Fair play to Nuno.
It's mental.
Nuno ball. Arsenal, I have Ødegaard.
Same.
Purely because I'm getting really frustrated with Ødegaard.
Tell me about it.
Him and Rice drive me nuts. So
Rice, I feel like gets away with it a little bit more because he's a DM. He doesn't have to do as much.
Yeah.
Output wise, but Ødegaard, man, oh my god.
I think he's a little bit tired as well. I think he needs a rest. I know you can't rest him, but he needs a rest.
No, he needs a Gabriel Jesus, just gift him the ball in the net.
Yeah, and he's getting going.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, that's what Ødegaard needs. He just needs the ball to walk into the net for him.
Raheem Sterling tactic.
Because this guy shoots. I'm telling you. I said to him at the start of the year, I said about Ødegaard, he needs to start shooting more.
Yeah.
And now he's shooting, and it's I'm seeing the most stupid blocks of all time. If he connects with it, it's a P roller to the keeper. Or it's swazzes, but right after the post. This guy is actually doing stuff now in terms of shooting and cannot get any output, and it's doing my head in, right? So I'm telling you, there's a hat trick for him. I'm telling you, there's a hat trick loading for Ødegaard.
Hat trick loading?
No, I'm telling you, right? It's my gambling addiction at the moment. Ødegaard every game, putting a hat trick on. $5.
I'm in.
It's paying 200 to 1. I'm telling you, I'm putting it on.
Happy day.
I'm telling you, this guy has a hat trick loading because as soon as the ball goes in the net, he's going to score 3 or 4, right? I don't know.
When's Ipswich?
Martin, I don't know, right? Who do we have next? Because
when's Southampton? When's Ipswich?
Because this guy, he just needs it on a platter, but as soon as it comes, I'm telling you, it's coming.
Soon come. You've heard it here first.
But yeah, no, Ødegaard needs to fucking lift. He's doing my head in when I watch this guy play.
It's just... I thought he was going to carry them while Saka's out, and it just...
he's just doing too much sometimes.
He
just does too much.
He's doing too much.
Bro, you're doing too much.
Just play the pass or shoot. There's none of this
Just score the goal. Yeah. Honest to God, Ødegaard. Martin, just put the ball in the net, bro. Put the fries in the bag. I've had enough of this, I've had enough of this stupid...
Put an onion in
footwork thing where you're doing some Travella,
reverse ball to side pass,
Rabota, quarter flag, trick shot. I've had enough, man. Put the flies in the bag. Put the ball in the net because he doesn't know how to do that, bro. I'm telling you, it's so annoying.
Bro, he's allergic to
fucking annoying
goals and he's not assist, but he's just struggling. And Liverpool's Mo Salah.
Yeah,
for the reasons we said, if he falls off, they will fall off. I think that's just.
Well, he has fallen off a little bit.
How long? So how long he falls off?
He's just so pivotal to what they do, right? That when the other guys don't show up, he's the one who's been showing up. So if Liverpool are going to fall off, it's because Salah's not performing.
Yeah, 100%.
Darwin's not going to bail him out every week.
If Darwin bails him out again this season, fair fucks. That might be the greatest.
Do you reckon he saved his Liverpool career
Oh, no,
At least the next 6 months.
Oh yeah, but I think the plan was always to sell him in
You
the
think
summer.
so? I heard rumours about Jan.
Because they're not getting any European clubs wanting to bid. They want the 80 million back, which I think is delusional. Saying Nathan thought that was delusional as well, but
80 mil. Yeah,
they want the 18 million.
Yeah,
so Saudi get 70. They said we want 80. So they're waiting out for someone.
These clubs are so lucky Saudi exists.
Oh, so it's a bailout. Talk about bailouts. That isn't the ultimate bailout.
Like it's bullshit. I've had enough of this. It's not fair, mate. It's not fair. Like,
well, Kyle Walker's gonna get sold for like 50 million.
Yeah, the fact you can like overpay for players now for so much, not like with big names, knowing that Saudi is just like, mate, I tell you what, I'm gonna like start a company and it's gonna be called Transfer Advisor, and I'm gonna convince the Saudis that I can like advise their transfers because. Whoever is doing it at the moment is so delusional, bro, and it's like so bad at their job. Whoever is advising Al Hilal and Al Nassr to pay like 100 mil for like these washed 35-year-olds needs to get the sack because I don't understand.
The problem is money means nothing to these people. Like it's like a drop in the water for them.
Yeah, but for how long? Like how long can they keep doing this though? Like I don't. Like whether it's 5 years, whether it's 10 years.
The oil keeps pumping, brother. Like,
yeah, but the oil's not going to keep pumping forever.
Yeah,
forever. Like
for long enough though, it'll keep pumping. Like we'll see this for the next 5 years at least.
Yeah, I know. It's like probably like 2 gallons. So yeah, they're probably all right.
Mate,
Benzema, 1 Lamborghini.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I read this though. They get bought houses as a signing on like bonus. Like, they get given a
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Like, these players. They're not just getting the.
Well, they don't particularly have like massive populations. These countries.
No.
Like maybe Saudi does.
It is condensed. That's the thing, though. Like you're not.
Well, like. Yeah,
but I've read stuff about like.
Oh yeah, they're probably getting like.
They're getting like houses as signing bonuses.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, I mean.
Can you just sign for Everton, or you get a house?
It's either that as a signing bonus or 1 week of pay.
Yeah,
do you either want to buy it after train for the first week, come for your medical, we'll give you a house.
Can you do an Airbnb for 1 week?
Yeah, legit.
Just so we can. It is ridiculous.
It's annoying how these clubs can get bailed out like that.
Oh yeah, it's a good point. Bail out.
I don't like it. Yeah. It's not fair.
It's with PSR.
Doesn't reward good transfer life strategy.
Not the Brightons of the world. Can't come back in the Brightons.
Yeah, it's BS.
All right, the next 2 games I want to touch on probably in depth. The rest we can skip over. Arsenal 2, Villa 2. Great first start. Again, fantastic start to the game for Arsenal. But Ollie Watkins in that corner flag, there's something fucking about that end.
Do you know what? So I checked the odds live, right? I was curious. Just to like, when we were 2-0 up. Actually, 1-0 up. 1-0 up.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it was, 60th minute or something. We were paying $1.15 to win. $1.15. So you bet $10. You get $1.50
Is this
back.
win lose or just win?
No, this is win draw.
Win draw lose.
Yeah, win draw lose. Right. So we're paying $1.15.
Okay.
Which means essentially there's like an 80% chance.
Yeah,
that we win the game.
Win that game.
Right. We go 2-0 up. We were paying $1.50. $1.005.
Fuck yeah,
is what Sportsbet's odds were for us to win the game.
Fair enough. Life saving.
Which is essentially 99.995
something.
2% or something. We were paying to win that game, right? At that point, my body was screaming at me, load up on the other team. Because us,
to hold it,
like, at the moment,
nah,
there's just something wrong with us, man. Like, any sort of pressure to do anything, and we fumble.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we actually are bottled. We actually bottle it, bro. Like every time now.
Yeah.
Like literally every single time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like it's just 2-0 up at home, and we go and draw 2-2, and borderline should have lost. Like Yuri, I know he scored that. Like I know he scored that goal, which was a handball. Which, by the way, Arsenal fans are genuinely convinced it's not a handball. Like what is wrong with our fan base?
Your overturned one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
no, this is a real thing. Like you go and check it. Like some people like saying, no, it was off the chest.
Off the chest.
Wait, it was off the chest. Like his arm literally like from the force like bounces back.
Oh fuck.
Oh my God.
This is why I don't like Arsenal. This is the reason though, because your fans ruin it for me. I can't like you guys because of people like that though. So Robbie's licking his lips, so he's getting.
Yeah, AFTV must be loving it, man. I just like. I literally texted that. I was like, this
Done.
club cannot hurt because I knew when I saw the odds, I literally knew we weren't going to win. I was like,
Should've checked.
this is such a lock according to statistics.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Like we win this game every single time from here. Like the market was $1.50 for the sake of having the market open. Like
there's no need to really.
As in like, yeah, like if you're such a degenerate that you want to bet on that,
Good on
like yeah, go ahead. That was the reason it was open, right?
you. Yeah.
Like
5 minutes later.
I just knew we weren't gonna win when I saw those fucking odds.
Yeah,
because it's just like we just bottle it every time now. And this is why, like, I don't think we can win the league anymore. Like, to be honest, I just don't think we can.
I think Shearer's the same thing. It's Nax now.
No. I thought we had to win every single game. That's where I stood. Was that okay? You know, Liverpool aren't going to lose the league because of them. We're going to win the league because we will literally win every. You know, I just thought like, yep, we're going to be City 2.0. Like we're gonna have a rain coming. You know, we're going to become inevitable like that. But we just don't have it. Like, you know, we have a couple injuries and we're just washed. Like
it's fucking Saka, man, Saka.
I know. But like even then, we were 2-0 up.
I know.
With like the best defense in the world.
But again, in this game,
I know there's no Saliba, but still.
And I mentioned to you, I said to you midweek, I still don't reckon your defensive. I know Arsenal fans are getting frustrated. I don't think your defense has been that bad.
No, I don't think it's been bad either.
I think it's on the. I think it's on the mid. I think it's on the midfield, man.
Well, the goals we conceded was Havertz playing everyone on side.
Yeah,
I think it was Havertz, and Mikel Merino just like not getting across.
Mikel Merino's probably one of the most average signings. That was overhyped.
Yeah, he's mid, eh? Yeah, he's mid. Nah,
big Euros tax, massive Euros tax.
Yeah, Marino's mid. Like he's just like, he's just mid.
He's Sociedad. He looks like a Sociedad.
Yeah, we have the Sociedad midfield. What do you expect, man? Like we're getting Zubimendi.
Zubimendi's joining in. You get the full Sociedad midfield.
We got Odegaard, yeah, and we got Marino. But it's Sociedad, and that's low key Arteta. He's just like Valencia and like Sevilla and Sociedad.
He's just Valencia.
Like he's just not Madrid. He's just not Barca.
He's like the fourth place.
He's definitely not Atletico Madrid. Or maybe he is Atletico now.
He is. He's playing terrorism boy.
He definitely is, actually.
Finishing second
as soon as Simone's gone,
he's there.
Al-Qaeda is going to Madrid.
Here we go.
Al-Qaeda to Madrid, confirmed.
Bring Gabriel, bring the headers with you, bring the vibes, bring Jovert.
Like, bring the Twin Towers.
Bang.
Because the Twin Towers are going down in Madrid.
You know what, I'd love
That's
to.
a crazy thing to say,
if you call it, if it's 10 years time from now, like, Arteta's washed, Gabriel and Saliba passed it, they go to Atletico and that happens, it'd be hilarious.
It makes sense though, bro. Like he played under David Moyes. You know, like
he knows some absolutely anti-football when he sees
it. Mikel, I wonder if he's like wants to like shoot himself at the moment, like, you know, because
bro was in tears, like bro was crying at full time.
Yeah, because like I imagine in his head he just like the players are like robots, and they play, and it probably is like quite free flowing attacking ball, whereas in reality it's get the ball to Leandro Trossard. Firstly, Martinelli got to go. Like fraud watch done. Like no, he's actually done.
Man, I called it. I said Martin. I said he's Martin, man.
He actually is.
Axe the Ellie, man. If bro was named Martin, he's like worth $5 million. He's playing for Tranmere.
I just like he doesn't know how to dribble while looking up. He looks down.
No, you said this last year as well. I think it was the North London derby end of last season.
No. I'm telling you, all this guy does is just run with the ball looking down, and then like do a couple spins and then pass back to Thomas Partey or pass back to Timber. You know, he doesn't know how to do anything. Martinelli taking on players it's like the thing you do when you're 10 years old and you kick a past them and try and out-sprint them. Yeah. He doesn't know how to dribble past them. It's kick a past them as sprint and then do nothing. And it's just like, we are so boring. We used to be so nice to watch. I used to love watching us.
I used to always watch you play, but I can't anymore.
Where did it all go wrong? Like by signing Kai Havertz, I don't know. Like, where did it go wrong? Havertz got to go. I mean, the whole team's washed. Get rid of the whole thing.
Fuck. But if like you know the prime example of you guys are right now is Trossard. Bro's the best player in the bro's probably the best version of himself. but the worst version. Like, there is no mid ground. And same with Marino. You were sold a dream from this Euros where he was like...
Sterling. We brought Sterling in.
That's got to be the worst. You're paying his wages, man. You're paying that guy's wages.
We're not paying his whole wages. We're paying half his wages.
Yeah, but that's basically... But the money he's on at Chelsea is basically... It is a full wage what you're paying. It's ridiculous. But again, is it down
we have a million fullbacks...
And none of them
are fit.
Got Timber at centre half. I think, though, it's about now Mikel's got to go to the players. Let's... not fuck the system off, but like let's put a bit of freedom, man. Let's take have more Lewis Skellies, man. Just
have more
play
faith,
some freedom, man.
Have more faith in the quality of your defenders.
Yeah.
And fuck the system off.
Yeah.
Because like we're conceding goals anyway. So it's like have more faith in Gabriel and Saliba being 1-on-1. Right?
They're probably the best at that.
Yeah. like literally though, in term
that's their strength.
And like let Rice do something. Let Marino do... Yeah, legit, let Marino do something because he's done nothing.
I think he doesn't work
he's just been on the pitch and does
his
a few...
His heat must be just like one spot.
Yeah. I've never actually seen him touch the ball. So like, I'm not actually sure what he does.
But in Spain...
Martinelli, like, just get rid of him. Honest to God. Send him to Spain. Like... Send him to Saudi. Send him to Saudi, bro. Because now he's literally living off aura tax now. Because he's not good. He's 22 and he's not good.
Yeah.
So, like, let him go to Saudi like on his big name.
Yeah.
Because that's what Saudi buys, big name players.
Brazilian left winger.
Because he's just not good. He played on the right.
Yeah, he played against the
That's how grim it is. He's playing on the right. That's how grim it is. He's playing on the right and he's just getting told, run past. Because he can't do anything. I've had enough talking about Arsenal.
Yeah. 1 year in, Saka need to come back desperately for me. That's the... But I think we can agree though, right?
We need some Calafiori aura because we lost it.
I think, fuck the system to a degree and just
let
the kids play. Like, let them go and play.
Bro, let Marnodegaard do something normal without trying to like have to break down 10-man walls of like, because we're so slow in transition.
Yeah, what happened to that as well? You used to be quick.
I know, we are like, there's a legit directive to like, if it's not clear cut, slow down, let everyone walk up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, in Mikel's head, it's like, tiki-taka, this.
Yeah.
We're in the box, shoot. Like it's not how it works.
It work that way. And if
not with Kai Havertz, because he can't...
I'm about to say, with a strike, you need a striker for that system. You need someone who can just...
Well, you need someone who can touch the ball. Did you watch our game?
I didn't watch.
For a Havertz doesn't know how to... Like, he's actually uncoordinated. No, I'm telling you.
Timberland Lukaku.
Bro, he's literally Peter Crouch, except he's not 6'7", and he sucks at everything.
And he can't head.
Like, he's literally unco. It's like, how can you be a professional footballer and be unco... I don't understand, man. I don't understand how this guy's like. What is his? I don't even know what Kai Havertz is.
He's
I don't know.
His goal ratio is the best at Arsenal, by the way. As well.
Yeah, I know.
Just to really rub salt in the wounds.
But he actually plays a striker now. To be fair.
Yeah. We're running out of time, so we're going to talk about Everton last.
Sorry, I don't know
United 1, Brighton 3. Again, I'll say it. I think that's the greatest summary. We love a big game. Fucking hate. What is
we'll talk about United next week with Tots.
Fucking, he's got us like the Disney Club because we're like. Love a big occasion, but the small moves we've been on. But yeah, basically we're shit against small.
United will have its own episode next week.
Yeah. We need to balance the episode a little bit more. We've fucking waffled too much today. Forest 3, Southampton 2. Fuck, they nearly drew this Southampton. I didn't watch it. I watched it this morning. Ola Aina clears the ball off the line at the 5th minute of stoppage time. So it's giving Leicester season. Like,
yeah, I know.
It's so strange. But Elliot Anderson's first goal, good for him. Wood again. Fucking no surprise there. We've talked about City. They
Chris Wood, man, that's mental.
Ipswich 6-0. McAtee scores. Haaland scores. Doku scores. Foden twice. Kovacic in there as well. Kovacic was best on for me.
I mean, we spoke about City quite a bit before.
Yeah.
Like, the gist of it is that we are scared.
Yeah. Well,
we are scared for everyone else.
If you're taking social media's output, you've got divorced Pep, 9.5-year Haaland. Marmoush is joining to take over Salah's.
Kyle Walker's leaving.
Well, Kyle Walker's leaving. Roger will walk back in.
Phil Foden's actually played a couple, actually got some contributions.
6 goals in 5 games for Foden. Like, it looks very ominous. Might be maybe 4 games too late, unfortunately, for them.
Yeah.
And this is the one I want to talk about to finish off the episode. Everton 3, Spurs 2.
Oh my God.
They had this one by... I thought they had it 1 by half time. It took Spurs right to the end to make things happen. DCL scores one of the great goals, by the way. Little body feint, in and out dribble, scores that. And Dye then almost did a better job of that from the halfway line, dribble past everyone. And then an own goal from Archie Gray in the 7th minute of the first half stoppage time, made it 3-0. Kulusevski, fantastic goal. Richarlison goal at the end. Made the scoreline look interesting. But the first half, fucking hell. I'm going to make a post about it today, but David Moyes Everton, it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Like, they looked so back. And I know it's Spurs, but they looked so incredibly back in this game. It was nuts. Is it Spurs or is it Everton, though? That's the question. Or is it both?
I think it's Spurs. Like,
they made Everton look $1 million. That was so good.
I think it's... We spoke about it before as well. United and Spurs are like sort of copy and paste, just like one small.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like...
So hard.
Mate, Spurs love a big game. No, Spurs froth a big game.
That was good with North London Derby.
And froth saying, mate, like one of the headlines I saw was so funny. Oh no, mate. Was the headline. Oh no, mate. It's so funny. Like, I love Ange.
I feel bad for the brother now. He's
No, I love him. I love him. I like, and I want him to do. I want him to do so well. As I don't care. I want Spurs to win something for Ange. Like,
that got to the point.
Like, I actually would prefer that. Like, that's where the level sits for me. But yeah, like there does come a point where I know there's injuries, but
it's funny injuries,
being down 3-0 at halftime is like mental.
Everton scored 3 goals in the last 6 games. They scored 3 in 45 minutes. This is just like
I don't know. Like, I don't know what you do with this Spurs team. Because they've invested a lot in Ange and his system, but he just has nothing. Like, he just has no players. It's like, you know how you were saying before with Arsenal. Let's kill the system a little bit. Let them do what they want. It's like, Spurs' system is rely on the defender's quality, right? Rely on the good players you have back there to be good.
Yeah.
And when you don't have them and you have the drop off, right, in quality, then this is just going to happen.
Yeah.
It is going
to happen.
It's like the opposite. It's like, the system in Arsenal favours the defence. So even though we have good defenders, it doesn't matter because we have such a defensive system.
Yeah,
where it's like, you're going to be good anyway. Whereas Spurs is the complete opposite and you don't have the quality there. So it's all just gone pear-shaped. So, like, you probably just the season's a write-off anyway, right? In terms of the Prem.
Yeah.
So if you're Levy, you just sort of have to persist. Surely. I mean, what are they? 16?
Yeah. And
24 points in 22 games. Like,
that's I keep forgetting that. It's just your point every game,
bro. That is that's about as bad as it gets. You literally nearly get relegated doing that. Like, 35 points is like the safety, number, right? Yeah. That's a point a game. Yeah. So like, they might be safe. They might be safe. They're on track. They're on track to stay up. But
I'll rattle off the list quickly. So Vicario.
Yeah.
But here we go. Vicario, that's a big one. Udogie, but he's been awful this season.
Yeah, he just sucks defensively.
Yeah. Werner, he's been shit. Benton Kurt, he fucked himself by saying a racist thing.
But that is a massive out, though.
Yeah, that's massive. But that's self-inflicted.
What did he say?
We got banned 7 games for having a go at Son.
He got banned 7 games.
And Benay's injured. So he got banned 7 games, came back, played fantastic.
What did he say?
Injured. I don't know what he said, but it was towards Son.
And Son mad or?
Well, no, but the Premier League then fined him 7 games. That's what I thought it was. I hope that's right, but I'm pretty sure that's what it said.
What do you call them, like Squid Games?
What's the actor's name? Just rattle it out.
Actually, have you seen the guy in Squid Games that looks like Son, though?
The main guy?
Yeah, the main guy.
Yeah. That's always the meme. Whenever
it looks, but it's actually a little bit crazy.
It looks like a really non-baby face Son.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's probably more of just they all sort of look, all quite similar.
Bendeco just posted the photo.
Romero out. That's a big one. Van der Ven out. It's a big one.
Massive. That's massive.
Forster out. He's shit anyway. But Ben Davies came back.
But Forster's probably better than this guy at the moment.
I don't know, man. The new keeper's alright.
He might have been alright last night, but against us,
okay,
he was shit. No, like
the game before that though was good as well.
He was so bad against us.
You know, right in him.
But I
think
I know it's the North London derby and I
think it was just the occasion though.
And stuff, but the reason you bring him in is because he's better playing out of the back than Forster. And I know Forster's injured, but
I think that
But Force is pretty good. Like, he's a pretty good shot stopper.
yeah, he's supposed to stop.
He's just grim at the ball at his feet, right?
Yeah,
but
not
it's still
not for him.
Still a fucking injury.
Solanke got injured during the week with his knee. Yeah. That's a big loss. Otto Burr's been out for some time.
How long is Solanke out for?
I actually don't know. It was just a training injury.
Yeah, right. He did his knee though.
Yeah, a knee. That's what it's called. That's a knee injury. Brennan Johnson's a big out. He's been out for a little bit. Basuma's out, but he's been shit this year as well. So
that's still a massive.
That's the thing. Like the players
they've lost their spine.
They
don't have a spine. Yeah, like,
but I'd rather play Bergvall, Bentancur, and Papsar than Basuma.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, okay. So they're probably down one.
Yeah. For me, it's the centre backs. Centre backs can keep.
That's what I'm saying. They're probably down one in their midfield, but the reality is that they don't have
a defense.
Yeah,
that's the problem. So
and your doggy starts as well. So they literally have one of their starting 5 defenders.
But even when they play, though, that's the thing. Your doggy's been rubbish. Basuma's been rubbish. Papsar's been rubbish.
Yeah, I know, but like your doggy has been rubbish, and I was saying this the most. I was like,
early on,
I was like,
calling it.
So overrated.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't do enough going forward for how bad he is defensively.
Yeah, he was living off first 5 games last season.
Shocking defensively.
Yeah.
Like I was watching them sort of week in, week out, and I'm like, he's just shit. But
it was the first North London derby at Spurs this year where he
was so bad.
He got cooked.
He was so bad. It was crazy. Like, I mean, but I guess you can still say he's an out. But like, it is the set.
But that's my point though. There's a lot of outs, but even when they're playing, I think Kulusevski, Bergvall, and I think Stanky's not been too bad. I think those are the only 3 that can hold themselves in higher claim.
I don't rate Stanky.
Yeah, rate it.
I think James Maddison's been alright. I think James Maddison gets on. I think he's a bit
of a scapegoat. He's a bit of a scapegoat.
Exactly. I think he's a scapegoat for Ange.
Ange has given him the behaviour treatment for
like getting dragged all the time. Yeah. Like he's like one of the top chances created players in the league.
He's got the most goals at Spurs. He's got 8 goals a season for Spurs. Prem.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, most Prem goals, I'm pretty sure.
And he probably had most assists as well.
Wouldn't be surprised he'd be up there, yeah.
Kulusevski's obviously been good, but like, I feel like Maddison gets a tough run because like I assume Ange looks at the team and the defensive vulnerabilities and says like, oh, you're not tracking back, you're not doing enough of this.
Not accountable, yeah.
Because that's like sort of the vibe I get from James Maddison, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like going forward, he does exactly what you want. But the problem is when you have Maddison, you don't get the best out of Kulusevski.
This is the problem.
And if you want Kulusevski at 10, then Maddison plays 8, and then there really is defensive vulnerabilities.
And then yesterday he was drifting out left, and what the fuck's going on? Maddison was drifting out left, and it was all just a shambles at that point in time. But like,
yeah, right.
I don't know.
That is shambolic.
But it happens. You know when you're about to go is when shit like that happens. Like, what was Ten Hag doing?
How long do you think he's got left?
You
don't sack him now.
But if they lose midweek in Europa League, I think he goes.
Is that like...
Because Europa League's their one, and the Carabao. I think Ange's doing well in the cups. He's in every cup.
Yeah, but you just don't sack him now.
I wouldn't, but you sort of have to, don't you? You lost to Everton.
I don't think you do. People said the same thing about Mikel.
Yeah, but it's not different, but it is different. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think people think it's different, but I think the reality is not.
It's the exact same, isn't it?
Like,
both are going down playing their style.
What did Spurs finish last year? That's right. They fumbled the bag. They should have got Champions League, and they finished Europa.
So they got.
But they should have got. That's right. They fumbled the way.
They would have been 5th or 6th
because they went on a tear. Obviously, at the start of the year.
Oh, they were like the best.
They
won the league. Apparently,
that's right. They won the league in August.
Yeah,
that was unbelievable. I forgot about that.
Because they were like 9 wins out of the first 12. Like they were like some ridiculous
they were fucking
start.
going crazy. And I remember saying this. Like he set the ceiling too high, too early.
Yeah.
Or set the standard. And so like whatever they were going to do, they were going to regress.
You did say at the start of the year.
Yeah. I was like, they're going to regress, and I think Spurs fans have to acknowledge that. And it was the same with Ten Hag at United.
Yeah,
we're always going to regress.
3rd place,
but it wasn't about now. It wasn't about the first year. It wasn't about now. It was about 2 or 3 years down the line. And I look at Ange like that personally. I think Ange, is a project, and
this is the thing. Second seasons are tough, man. They're really tough.
Yeah, they're so hard.
like for
surviving the second season, like is borderline impossible.
Yeah,
like for any manager.
Because new manager bounce, you win a lot of games, you finish higher than you should do.
You always get the first year,
and then
right?
second year comes, your expectations to be
you always regress. As you said, you always are going to regress.
But the thing with Ange over Ten Hag, and to your point always, was you can clearly see what Ange wants to do.
Yeah.
Like it's so obvious.
Yeah.
Just these players are incapable of doing it.
And so it becomes more of a question: is that going to work?
Yeah. Do you need to like tone it back for the players?
No, the question becomes: is what you want to do good enough? Like
that's true as well. Yeah.
But that's a whole different question to like, at least you have an identity, right? So, and that's why I think because you know what he wants to do, and then you look at the injuries he has out.
Sometimes
I think you have to I just think you have to persist, and you have to give them the benefit of the doubt that when you get these players back, it's going to work because you've seen it can work.
Yeah.
But,
to the extreme of it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a tough one. And as you said, the Cups are definitely bailing him out at the moment.
That's what I'm saying.
He keeps saying, I do win something myself. He keeps saying that. So
because he's top 8 Europa, so he's like the qualifying Europa. They're
they've won the first leg against Liverpool.
They're on track for we'll say it. They're on track for Carabao Cup final. That's just how it is, I guess. Forget form.
They would be favourites to be in the final. They'd be favourites to win it.
Yep, and they got a pretty reasonable FA Cup draw, I'm pretty sure as well. They didn't get any top team, I'm pretty sure.
They made it tough, but
yeah. But I think teams like this do this. Like we went all the way versus Notts County or some shit last year in like our first round. Like we went to extra time versus them. We ended up winning
beat Coventry.
Yeah, and we should have lost it. Like sometimes shit like that happens. I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs do something like that if Ange stays. Yeah. But I don't know. That's a story for the other day as well. There you go. We waffled for enough time.
But you said we waffled, but I was thinking like
a lot of weeks to cover.
It was due.
There's some themes to
like cover. The problem was there's a few key topics which like needed like a lot of explanation.
Arsenal, Spurs, United, Pep. We haven't even done United yet. That's next week's job.
United will do a good run with Tots. That'd be good.
I don't even know what he was saying.
We need Tots here for that.
I don't know what he will say. I can save my voice next week.
I haven't heard. It's been a long time since the three of us have been on the couch, I reckon.
It's just the three of us been a very long time.
Yeah.
Very long time.
And even then, we were doing it, but like very hit or miss.
Yeah, so one every fortnight, every 3 weeks. We'll get some form going. We'll get some form going. Back end of the season, we always come good back end of the year.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good to be back.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for the support last week. Episode on YouTube smashed it last week. So hopefully, we got up to the 150 mark, I think. So hopefully we can get back to that this week. Like, comment, subscribe, 5 stars at podcast, and Spotify.
We'll see if people miss me.
Yeah.
They miss the Bronx. We'll see if they miss me.
Is this the true missing link we've needed?
200.
Otherwise, contracts.
Yeah, legit, guys. However many views I get is how many zeros
gets written on the.
Yeah.
On
So
the
if it's 50, 1 0, 2 zeros. Get 10,000.
Yeah. Up. Come on. Give this one. These manager stuff. It's a busy week in the channel. We've got Champions League predictions coming out literally following this.
Week.
Prem predictions, and I might do a watch along for Champions League midweek. So join us down the channel for that. And then Nathan and me will be here Thursday morning. We'll see you guys next Monday. Until next time, see you later.